Welcome to your day 12 of Magic Book. Welcome, one and all. Today is a beautiful day. It's a magical day for all of us once again, and let's see the chapter what will unfold. So, if you look on your left hand side, there's this beautiful album. It's got pictures of people who are magical people, and there's a lot of magic around it. So, let's understand what the chapter will unfold. Day 12, magical people who made a difference. At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. Each one of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lighted the flame within us, says Albert Schweitzer, a Nobel Peace Prize winning medical missionary and philosopher. So let's understand that in our life, there are times when we are clueless, when we are going in one direction, and someone comes, and that someone adds some value to us. So let's be thankful for those people because they have come at the right time and really helped us. Today is all about those people. So let's take this chapter forward. Every one of us has received help, support, or guidance from other people at particular times in our life when we needed it most. Sometimes another person alters the course of our life through their encouragement, guidance, or just being there at the right time. And then life goes on. And we tend to forget those times when one person touched us or changed our life. Sometimes you don't even realize the impact of a person had until well into the future. When you look back on your life and realize that a particular person was pivotal in magically changing the direction of your life for the better. So, today, let's go back and think about those people who've added value to ourselves, who've added value to who we are, and have steered us in a particular direction. Now, let's see who those people can be. The person may have been a teacher or a coach, an uncle, aunt, sibling, grandparent, or any family member. They may have been a doctor, nurse, or best friend. They may have been the person who introduced you to your current partner or to a particular interest that began one of your greatest passions. Maybe they were someone you didn't even know, and they appeared in your life very briefly, performing a random act of kindness that touched you to the core. My grandma gave me my love for books, cooking, and the countryside by sharing her love of those things with me. All of them affected and changed the course of my life. Cooking became a passion of mine for over 20 years. My love of books eventually led me to become a writer, and my love of the countryside has influenced where I've lived throughout my life. So, Rhonda Bond's grandmother played a very important role. Today is a time to go back and think about who could have played that important role in your life and to think about them. Let's take the reading further. Rhonda Byrne says, my grandmother also disciplined me with a steel hand to say thank you. At the time, I thought she was just teaching me to be polite. It was only later in my life I realized that teaching me to say the magic words was the greatest gift my grandmother ever gave me. She's not alive anymore, but I continue to be grateful to her for the huge influence she had on the course of my life. Thank you, Grandma. Today, you're going to think about the magical people who have impacted your life. Find a quiet place alone, sometime during the day, sit down and think of three extraordinary people who have made a difference in your life. Once you have your three people, work with one person at a time and talk out loud to each person as though they were present, telling him or her the reasons why you're grateful to them and how they affected the course of your life. So now it's very important to understand there's a reason why this exercise has been given. Firstly, we probably haven't told ourselves that how these three people, or maybe more than three, helped us evolve. And if we've told them, probably not in many words, because every time they were in front of us, the conversations were got cut off. Today is your seamless conversation time with them, you and them as imaginary, maybe as a picture, maybe as a feeling. The person could be alive, the person could probably have crossed over, it doesn't matter. What you have to do is talk out loud with them. So if you can't talk out loud because of surroundings, okay, have a hearty conversation from your mind. But remember, you must have this time with them. And one more thing, one thing at a time. So, one thing is talking to that one person at one time. You finish from one, you go to a second, you finish from second, go to on to a third. So, what do we have to tell them? Exactly what we feel, that how grateful we are for that one thing they added in our life, or many things they added in our life, and how they changed the way we are today. Make sure you do this magical practice with all three people in one session, because it will take your feeling of gratitude to a far deeper level. If you split up this magical practice throughout the day, you will not feel the same depth of gratitude nor receive the magical results. So remember, it's to be done together at one flow. So you start with one, move on to second, move on to third. Here is an example of what you might say. Sarah, I want to thank you for the time that you encouraged me to follow my heart. I was lost and confused that day, and your words touched me and lifted me out of despair. Because of what you said, I found the courage to follow my dream, and I moved to France to work as an apprentice chef. I'm living my life, my dream, and I couldn't be happier, all because of what you said to me that day. Thank you, Sarah. So it's very important that you pick up any conversation, imagine it, and say to the person in front of you who's actually an imaginary person. So this is not to be done in person or one to one, because the flow of your thanks will get affected. So even if the person lives in the same house as you do, please do this exercise without him in front of you. His picture, the ihsas, the feeling that he's in front of you is fine, but nothing beyond it. It's very important that you say the reasons why you're grateful. And you can't say too much. Instead, the more you say, the more you feel, the more amazing the results become. You will see the magic explode into your life from doing this practice. It numbers amongst the most powerful acts of gratitude you can ever perform. So don't discount this habit. This practice, it's really powerful. In fact, there could be a person that you have not met in a long time, and that person you don't get along so much, but you know that he or she has been the change maker. So please, definitely drop your guards, drop your ego, and just converse with him as an imaginary him or her, in a position that you're talking to him out loud. And then let's write down our words for each person and address them as if you're writing a letter. So remember, first is conversation, second, letter writing. Now, after finishing the practice, what will happen? When you have completed this practice, you will feel a huge difference in the way that you feel. The evidence of gratitude's power working is always that, first and foremost, it makes you feel happy. The secondary evidence of gratitude's power is that you attract wonderful things. And as if all of this wasn't enough, the happiness you feel after practicing gratitude also attracts more wonderful things, which will make you even more happier. That's the magic of life, and that's the magical power of gratitude. So let's understand that magic is imperative, magic is important, and all of us can really live a life of satisfaction, of happiness if we are grateful. So let's involve ourselves in this magical practice. Let's read this to understand this again. So today is a magical page number 121, and I think it's a beautiful cue for me as well, because Born 121 is bringing this for you. So magic practice number 12. Magical people who made a difference. Count your blessings. Make a list of 10 blessings. Write why you're grateful. Reread your list, and at the end of each blessing, say, thank you, thank you, thank you, and feel as grateful for that blessing as you can. So remember, it's all in the mind. If you really want to feel gratitude, you really can. So we are amplifying our feelings of thank you by reading the list again. And by the end of it, saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, I'm repeating one thank you for the past, one thank you for the present, and one thank you for the future. Second part and today's exercise is, let's find a quiet place alone sometime during today and make a list of three people who made a difference in your life. Three being the number of creation. Third, Work through the list one person at a time. And while talking out loud, tell each person the reason why you're grateful for them and exactly how they have affected the course of your life. Just before you go to sleep tonight, hold your magic rock in one hand and say the magic words, thank you for the best thing that happened during the day. So, if anybody has any doubts about this session, you can ask me. If not, we can continue the day as is. It's very simple. Today, we think about uh, the three people who we think have changed our life. Those three people could be any three people. And we talk to them as if they're in front of us, though they're not in front of us. So, even if you live in the same house, they're not in front of you. Simply ask them, thank them, and let them know how much difference they made to your life and acknowledge them. You move from one person to second person to third person, and at least give yourself 3 minutes of conversation time with that person so that your deep gratitude can come out. So firstly, think about those three people. That will take you, I think, a minute, not longer than that. Think back about how they helped you. So, and in totality, the entire exercise should not last you for more than 15 minutes, but these 15 minutes are really going to get very, very, very magical. So, more power to everyone. Have a magical day with these three people who made a magical difference to your life. Love, light, and abundance to each one of you. Let's connect tomorrow morning at 6:30 yet again. Take care. Until then, good luck.